All right, here we got a 2017 Honda Civic EX model. We're getting the error code P16E2. This is a communication line error code from the alternator to the battery. Now, what's interesting is, at the time, for me personally, there was no OEM battery for this car in my area, so I had to get a Duralast battery from AutoZone. Now, I highly recommend not doing this because after taking it to the dealership, they couldn't figure it out. They had to look at the Honda forums to figure it out. And they mentioned the problem is because it's not OEM alternator. So this is what happens whenever that is the case when you start it. I've been driving this for three or 4 months on this alternator, which I do plan to replace the OEM. And look, it doesn't even do it this time. Actually, let's try to let's try to see if we can get it to do it where it pops up all the lights. Let's try it one more time. It's probably not going to do it on video just because it's like that. And this is one of the issues I was having, is that it didn't want to get rid of the lights that would come on. Let's see if we put it in drive, if it does anything. Okay, for some reason the audio went out, but basically what I did is I ended up showing me the lights when I started the car, probably like 10 minutes later. And now if I go to the info on what the lights are, these are the lights are coming up. We got brake system problem. Then we're also getting a light for brake hold system problem. Power steering problem, which is the EPS problem. Vehicle stability assist, which is VSA problem. Hill start assist problem. A charging system problem. And then we're back at brake system problem. What's interesting though is, despite the vehicle saying that there's no power steering, the wheel still steers perfectly normal. And like I mentioned, I've been driving on this since August of 2024, so it's been well over 3 months, and there hasn't been any significant issues at all. I mean, no issues at all besides the lights coming on. It's really interesting that it's the alternator, like the dealership mentioned. What I have heard in the forums, Honda forums, is that people have upgraded the gauge. So they upgraded the cable to a higher gauge, and I guess that fixed it. But I'm most likely just gonna end up replacing the alternator with the OEM. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go through all that labor again. But you gotta do what you gotta do. So if you're having the same issue and you're trying to figure out what the problem is for your Honda Civic after replacing the alternator, and it's not a OEM, it's aftermarket, then this could be one of the things. But like other people have mentioned too, you always want to make sure you check your connections, check your fuses, check your alternator output. What was interesting too is my alternator output was a flat line on a graph, so it was perfect. Voltage was great, battery was keeping charge. Just this is what happened with it, I guess.